is that? Oh, what is it? She says, donkey. All right, what's the donkey? So the donkey is what Jesus rode into Jerusalem on. And the crowd praised him with palm branches. So that could be a donkey or a palm branch, either one in that one. But this one's a donkey. But he rode into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday, we call it. And all the other good Jewish people were out finding their lamb. And this was the time when they were finding their lamb for this Passover celebration. And they would find their perfect little lamb, and they would bring it into their house, and they would feed it, and they would love it, and they would get close to it, and it would be their pet until the night of the Passover, and they would have to kill that lamb. So that's to burn in their memory that the lamb is someone special. Okay. Can you open that up and tell me what's in there?
Coins!
Coins? Silver coins. Those are silver coins, and that is what... Can you hold that for me? You can put the lid back on. Judas betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver the night that he was taken. Oh, sorry. Open that one up. What's in there?
A silver trophy.
A silver. So he washed his disciples' feet the night that he was betrayed. When they had their Passover supper, they killed their lamb and they were eating. And before they ate, Jesus sat all the disciples down and as a servant became their servant and washed the disciples' feet. Whoops. Uh-oh.
You broke it.
You need help. You good, Dustin?
Hands praying, right? Because in the Garden of Gethsemane, after they ate and they went to the garden, Jesus prayed. And remember, he prayed, if this cup could pass from before me, Lord, let it pass. And nevertheless, not my will, but your will. Meaning that the only way for salvation to come to the world was Jesus was going to have to die on the cross. And if there was another way, then God would have told Jesus, okay, yeah, let's not do this, let's do this other thing. But he didn't. So there's only one way to get to heaven. Oh, what is that?
A whip or a rope?
Yep, it's a whip. So, or a rope. So Jesus was arrested in the garden, and he was taken and he was flogged with a whip with bone and chunks of stuff on it, and it just ripped him wide open. He was whipped so bad he was didn't even look like a man anymore, because he was whipped so bad. He was bloody and torn up, and his meat was showing. And have you ever cut yourself and the meat comes out? That hurts. Well, his whole body was like that. I know, right? Okay, your turn. Oh wait, no, it's your turn. Oh, chicken. Okay, so so when they were praying in the garden, Jesus told Peter can't you just please pray with me? Because tonight you're going to betray me. Before the rooster crows twice, you're going to deny me 3 times. So that represents when Peter denies Christ 3 times. Now, there's a difference between Peter's denial of Christ and Judas's betrayal of Christ. Later on, Peter is restored and forgiven. Later on, Judas does not ask for forgiveness and he just kills himself. And so he is in a lot worse shape than what Peter was. Peter was actually restored back to him. Here, Missy. Here, I'll trade you. Let me have this one. You have that one.
Open. I want to know that.
Oh, what's that?
Is that a head?
That's a crown of thorns. They put a crown of thorns on Jesus' head. And soldiers made a crown of thorns to place on Jesus' head and calling him the King of the Jews. Because he was the King of the Jews and they were making fun of him. Could you imagine a crown of thorns with these big old thorns sticking out, sticking in your head? They stuck it on his head. They didn't have to pin it on because it pinned itself on because the thorns stuck right into their skull. That was crazy. That would hurt. So he was bleeding from his back and his head and everything else.
She wants her bowling back.
Oh, hold on. Open that one. Let me take this one. What do we got?
I want it to next.
Does you have to open it?
Yeah, to next.
Can you open it, Bennett?
It's a silver X.
Well, what do you think that X is?
Just turn it.
Oh, it's not. I
Chase,
see.
what is it?
It's a cross.
Good job.
It is a cross made of nails. Those nails,
Bennett, hold it up so people see.
the nails that Jesus
Hold it up.
was pinned to the cross
Yeah,
with,
show people.
the nails isn't what kept Jesus on the cross. It was his love for us that kept him on the cross. So Jesus is nailed to the cross. Let me trade you. What's that one?
Yeah.
What is that? A spear. A spear is a soldier pierced Jesus in the side with a spear before he is brought down from the cross because the Jewish leader says we don't want these guys up here because the Passover is the sacred day after the Passover is coming up. So no, sit down. So so like the Sabbath is a Saturday. Well, the day after the Sabbath, or the day after the Passover is called a Holy Sabbath. Doesn't have to be on a Saturday, just is a Holy Sabbath. So he had to be taken off the cross before sundown, which started that Holy Sabbath after the Passover. So that's what that is. He was pierced in the side and blood and water come out, signifying that Jesus was dead. Let me have that one. What's that? What is that?
Can you hold it up? Hold it up. Yep, good job, Chase.
Yeah, that is a linen. Joseph of Arimathea wraps Jesus' body in strips of linen and places him in his own tomb. So Joseph of Arimathea wrapped Jesus in his own in cloth and put him in his tomb. And then, let me have that one. What's that? Oh, we didn't open that one.
It looks like a black jelly bean.
A black jelly bean?
It looks like it.
Is that rock candy?
It's a stone.
A stone. Because a large stone is placed in front of Jesus' tomb along with soldiers to guard his body. They put this big stone in front of the tomb to keep him in there. Sit down, baby. Sit down. It's okay. And then last of all, let me have yours.
Abby, I think you should stand up and open that one.
What's that?
It's empty.
It's empty? What in the world? It's empty because on the third day, the women came to the tomb and found it empty. An angel greeted them and informed them that Jesus had risen from the dead. See, the tomb is empty. That egg is empty because Jesus isn't in the tomb anymore. He was raised from the dead, defeating death once and for all, so that we can have everlasting life in Him. All right, all the kiddos, let me have your eggs.
Des, did you hear Nick? Because the stone keeps rolling away.
That's right.
Take care.
Very good. You guys did so